Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. Well, we're gonna go right in and start with a card that I haven't covered for a bit. Bracing Angel Ladder has gone back up in value since I last discussed it. Before, when I was first talking about it, I had claimed that it was underpriced at about $80, or at least I was asking whether people thought it was underpriced. Well, we're starting to get back to that $80 mark after dropping to about 60. There were a number of sells at 60 and it progressively just held at 65 for quite a while. But now we can see that we have quite a few sells at $80, not straight, just a few cents off, but 65, $80. We're seeing $80 sells among this card. And in terms of quantities that are available, there are 9 listings left, and there are 10 copies for the seller with the most quantity, but the lowest price is currently $77 with a $2 shipping tag, and then it goes up closer to $100 for its last few listings. How high can it go? Well, only time will tell, but given that Bracing Angel Ladder is used in a ton of different decks and more decks continue to work their way into the format, the idea is that I feel like players are just going to want to have multiple copies of this, even though you can only play one, just to be able to split it amongst your decks. That's my take on it, and I feel like the card can still move on up. Luan, after playing it once at locals, I just wanted to take another look at this, as this was a deck that I wanted to try out, but I passed on it because it was a little expensive for my taste. Even though it's honestly, compared to a lot of other decks, this one's not too expensive if you're just going for the ride line and support. But when you go for cater in general, it's just a really expensive nation to go for. But in Luan's case, currently its price is $8.49 base, which is dropping off from its high. It was selling pretty well above $11 for a little while, and then more recent sales, we have more card copies at $8 to $10. So it's getting a little bit cheaper, and the support cards are also dropping a little bit, probably due to Divine Z coming soon and players just wanting to give that a try next. Then we've got Philander, which is from set 13. This one has been going up in value, but it seems to have plateaued around $10 for its triple rare, and we have a few listings copies available around that mark. While the FFR has a market price of almost $31, but the lowest listings are all just under 50, from $47.71 to $49. Then you got to consider shipping after that. Ultimately, the card is higher than it used to be, and we won't be able to see as much value out of it until we get to Illusionless Stripe, the second set for Divine. But at that point, there's a good chance it'll spike up. Steam Scara Zargon is ultimately, most of its quantities are above its market price and the base price that you can see here at $250. But it's $350 when you take a look at it in this format with 23 copies. On top of that, another $350 with 16 copies. So there are lots of copies available for $350 on the rare, while the FR is currently at 8 listings and goes for 12 to 14 for the initial few listings that are available. Plant tokens. It's been a while since we've covered these guys, so I wanted to see where they're at. We have 2 different ones that come out of D format. One is a promo, and there's another one that has been printed a few times among sets. And then if you go to V format, you also have the plant tokens that come from the booster pack, the Asha deck, as well as the special plant token down here that is used for buffed up plant token effects. So you can't use this for D effects because it actually has different stats. In any case, when it comes to prices on these plant tokens, most of them are available for $250 up to about $3. If you want the Asha trial deck version, that's closer to $5 right now. And the only thing I'll also say is that if you want special lore or backs, the one from set 5 being at 298 base, I'm actually curious now. Let me see where this one is at. 298 and then 299. We only have a few copies at $3 and under, and the majority of copies are above $5, and a lot of them are actually $10. When it comes to the set 5 ones, for those of you who don't know, these came with alternate backs, and the same goes for the Momoke tokens that also came out of this set. So just keep that in mind when you go to buy this one. Dragon Tree Wretch Demon Streeter. With Greedon getting a little bit more support in Divine Z, I wanted to see where this one was at, since that's played in the deck right now. 762 for the triple rare. Market price is about 6. The FFR is 20. Market price about 25, so it's lower. Ultimately, cheaper than it used to be, but still a decent price. There's been a spike in the market price on Astro Unica, and it has 15 listings right now, but it jumped from just under $3 to over almost $4.50. And recent sales, if we take a look historically, this card has been selling for $7 all the way up to $9. There have been some $4 sales recently, and available listings are $8, $10 with shipping. Yeah, base $8 plus shipping right now, so it's going up in price. If you need these, better take a look at them because they are moving. Time for a quick overview of the Set 3 Lyrical boss units. With their dress-ups coming for Lyrical Set 5 during the Divine Z format, there has been movement on a few of them, while a few are still just getting ignored. Lutetia is probably the biggest. Oh, there's no probably about it. It is the biggest. $40 is the current base listing and $12 market price. So we'll go into a little bit more detail on that one. But Kyoka is currently 12, and then Mediel is 13. Michu is 711, and then Hasaret's 545. So that one's also up. But Lilfa is not really going anywhere. Its market price is 79 cents, but it's 61 cents base right now, so no one's really been paying much attention to that one. As for Lutetia herself, where are we actually at with this? This has been getting bought a bit more recently for $20, $18. Nobody's bought 40 yet. There are a few quantities available. And given that Lutetia also got its new promo, the grade 2 order, that also could be contributing to its current real increase in price right now. A quick look at the FRs of the perfect guards that come out of set 6. All of them are currently above $5 in terms of market price, while 2 of them have a base price of $10. They are Sparkle Rejector Dragon and Palladium Zeal Dragon for Dragon Empire and Cater Sanctuary. Then you've got Planet Wall Dragon, Custodial Dragon, and Repelled Malice Dragon, which are all hovering around the $7, $8 mark for their base listings. All of them, actually not all of them, Planet Wall and Palladium have more than 10 listings available, while the remaining 3 are under 10 listings, but they're still above 5 listings. So there's still a decent amount available, and it really becomes a matter of which perfect guard you like to play, because you've got these FRs, you've got the original SPs from set 1, and you will now start to have the... Oh, I'm sorry, those are for the triggers at this point. I don't believe we should be getting FRs of the Sentinels in set 1 too, or there might even be silver rares. I have to take a look at that, but we're definitely getting more high rarity types of perfect guards to go for. Talking a little bit about crit triggers, I've been talking about Loris Yellow a lot from the original trial deck for Prison, but the other critical triggers from some of the other trial decks are also above $1, like Jackalope for the Magnolia starter deck. It's been selling for above $1 and currently only has 5 listings available, starting from $1.42 and ending over $5. Gurgant from the Cater Sanctuary trial deck for Bastion is selling pretty readily, although it has way more listings than Jackalope. 18 listings overall, but it is selling for $1 to even $2 right now. Note that these trial decks have an MSRP of 5, and even if you look at their prices, they're maybe $7, $8 tops for individual ones, but then these triggers count for half, if not more than half of the deck at this point. We're almost out of copies of Freischützer Maximum on the market. Well, I guess I should say we're almost out of listings because we still have a decent amount of quantity. 26 copies for the first listing, but after that, it's only 10 copies altogether that range from $1 to past $1 when you consider shipping and handling. They've been selling readily for $1, and we're almost at the new Welstra. So if you haven't picked them up yet and you want them, they're probably not going to go down for a while. Miroslava did go down after Bladmeyer's initial hype and a lot of cards going up. Miroslava was one of the ones that fell off a bit. It's still selling for close to $20, but most listings are available for $15 to $17 before they get back up into the higher range of $18.50 plus. Roaming Prison Dragon has not seen much movement on the SP, where the triple rare and the SP are currently aligned on market price. And when it comes to how the SP is selling, it's sporadic, but we have seen sales at 50 and 30 as well as 26. 50 is the lowest listing, and with the triple rare having caught up in terms of its base value, I don't know where the SP could go from here, as it's been pretty flaky, but ultimately Roaming Prison is still up there in terms of value and continues to rise. The same goes for a card that I probably should have been talking about more often. Fine Drink of Abolishment for Sins, the holofoil version. I talked about this once, maybe about a month or two ago, and how it was gradually rising. Well, it's down to one listing and has sold for $3. Previously, it was selling at $1 and just over that. And now it's really moving up there and it's basically out of stock now. Nectar of Sensationalism is another holofoil to look for Stoicheia. We're at 11 listings right now, and the market price has been gradually rising over the last few months. Available listings are mostly all above $1. And in terms of quantities, not many sellers have a lot of them. I see 5 copies max for sellers on the first page here. So there aren't too many to go around amongst these 11 listings. So if you need these foil, now's a good time to pick them up. Best Harvest is next up, where after Gondiva's fallout, as well as the promo reprint, the price has dropped off. You can pick it up for under $1 right now between the original rare and the promo. But the holofoils are over $1, closer to $2 and above. But that's still not too bad, given that it is a pretty generic holo to pick up for Dragon Empire. It has a lot of plausibility to be used again, given that if you have a really strong retire deck like Gondiva again, this thing could see a lot more play. Mayrig, the Knight of Evil Slash for Tegrea, has run out of stock on the foil version, while the regular promo is currently at $24 base. And moving on to some other promos, Plutonic Prospector is completely out of stock. These April-May promos are really making a lot of moves between all the ones that I've gone through, and Plutonic Prospector is one of the few that's just completely gone right now. $17.47 is the base price. $23.11 is the price for the foil in terms of the market price right now. Servant Falcracia, despite the reprint announcement, has been bought out for the regular copy. The foil is still available for a base of $43 with a market price of about $23, but this regular copy got bought out at $19, so players are still picking this up at a pretty decent penny despite that reprint, which we're not going to see that for a while either. And that will we'll still get Bladmeyer before Festival Collection 2024, so could be anticipation of that. And our final card for today is Ox Machine Monster Void, which is one of Archetype's support cards. Thanks to its reprint announcement, the hype prices have disappeared, and the market price on the foil is $7.76, lower than the bases of $9.23. But now it's just a matter of what Archetype can do. once we get that reveal, it's a good idea to watch out for the foil. If Archetype ends up being pretty good or even just fun, I could see this go back up in value because Archetype tends to be one of the popular units too. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.